that I made a mistake, but it's okay.
That is a perfect example of how things have been going this far. I'm finishing the siding and throwing on shingles. I ran out of battery, so I didn't get to film the installation of the dormer windows. But you can see here I'm just putting on siding around them. I also got the roofing installed on top of each of the dormers, and it came out all right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man! Dad, I made a mistake. And you know what? It's okay. You know why? Because it's just a playhouse. Tell Dad that. It's just a playhouse. Tell me!
One thing I wish I had done in hindsight is before installing the siding, I wish I had completed the roof so that I had the ability to put in step flashing around the dormers. But later on, you'll see exactly how I made that work. For the window, I did a little bit of flashing tape and some silicone. I got all 4 windows from Amazon for fairly cheap, and they're just basic shed windows. It allows a little bit of air ventilation for the kids while they're playing. I got a little carried away because I could see everything coming together and just went out of order and started putting siding on when I should have been finishing the roof. I knew I wanted to do a Dutch style door. I didn't have many plans for it, so a lot of what I did just came off the top of my head. I did need a hand planer because it was a little bit of a tight fit with the hinges that I bought, but we made it work. It's not perfect, it's not extremely pretty, but it works. As you can see, my ADD is taking over, half of the underlayment being installed. Now I'm back on track and ready to install some shingles.
Cool beans!
There wasn't much to this. It was just a matter of laying them down in the right sequence and making sure I didn't drive any nails through my fingers. I put down a little bit of drip edge before laying down the shingles on both sides. And I was able to figure out a way to slip some flashing underneath the siding as I installed each row of shingles. I may have gone a little overboard with the drip edge, but it was worth giving it a try. Along with the flashing in the front of the dormer, I was able to install some step flashing. It was difficult. I had to slide it under the siding and mess with it from the inside, but I got it to work. Right about here, I realized I was not going to have enough shingles to figure this project. Luckily, I had some extras, but clearly they don't match. I was at the point of burnout and just tried it anyways, only for my wife to come out and tell me to my face, quote, "It looks bad," end quote. So that was enough to send me over the edge. I had a major crash out and decided to just rip it all off, and I wasted like $100 in shingles. But she was right, it looks bad.
Did you find another potato? What'd you find?
Once I got the right matching shingles, I went ahead and just threw them up. I was already running out of sun, so I wanted to try to crank it out that day, have it all finished. Another difficult part that I ran into was just learning about valleys, how to run shingles along valleys. A little bit of TikTok, got it figured out. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. Luckily, I have a wife who's able to watch the kids and provide me a little bit of entertainment. Always helps the time go by fast. I trimmed up the rest of the shingles, and this is what I got. Here's just an update on the Playhouse. Started doing some of the trim over there. Got the doors on. Everything's looking good. Shingles are good. Right now, we are doing beadboard because my wife said that was a good idea.
So you can see I put beadboard, started putting beadboard up. Eventually every area is going to have beadboard, so at least it looks decent. Also, I had some leftover carpet, so I laid that down on the bottom floor here. These are still loose, so it's not permanently affixed. But for down here, I just put some construction glue. It'll eventually get dirty, and I'll pull it up, and we can replace it with something else. Up here, these are just, you can see it's just scraps. I actually added this whole section of loft. Just made sense. I had some extra wood, and previously you could tell where my wife stained it. It stopped right here. It was just, I thought it was worth just adding another little section for the kids to play. And then you can see these are just scrap pieces of carpet that I just laid down.
All right, so here I am just throwing up the beadboard throughout the interior. It's really just for aesthetics and trying to keep the kids from catching any nails from the roofing nails sticking through, preventing any, little damages. I can never get my cuts right, and that's partially just because I didn't plumb up a wall right. Learning lessons there. I'm also trying to do my best to break the beadboard edge on a stud, so I can drive the brad nails through it pretty easy. Easier said than done. Because it's a kids' playhouse, the goal has always been to get them involved as much as possible. So threw on their Home Depot apron and made them get to work. I wanted the house to be pink with purple trim because that's what my kids wanted, and my wife wanted it to be white with blue trim. So we compromised and did white with blue trim. Okay, so here is a hack I saw from the DIY Renovision guy. He actually ran an electrical cord to his shed. What I like is the ability to plug it and unplug it based on like a male outlet on the back, which I'll show you in a little bit. So to do that, I grabbed a couple single gang boxes, some Romex wire, and this male, reversed outlet with a weatherproof gang box. So this is just me kind of installing it, running some wire. It's just basic electrical wiring for a receptacle outlet. And once I ran the wire, it went around to the backside, and here you can see where I finished it. So now we can plug an extension cord directly from our house into the backside of this playhouse, and it gives us 2 outlets worth of power until we unplug and disconnect the power. And with the exception of a little extra beadboard, this is the final product. Thanks for watching, and I'll take any feedback you have.